All right, let's get started on how to use your Stabby Stencil. I've got the ear template, but actually I'm not gonna make ears this time. I'm gonna work on making a turkey, and I need to make these wings. And this template right here that's kind of bunny ears is what I commonly call it, is gonna work perfectly for my turkey feathers. So I'll set my turkey aside here. So I've got this size is the one I want to use. I'm going to go ahead and grab my fiber. Now you want to kind of watch when you're grabbing your fiber. The trick is we want these to be probably about 1/4 of an inch thick when we're making most of the templates. Of course, it's going to depend on what you're making. So I'm just going to pull off a little bit of wool. You can see it's about maybe 1/2 inch thick or so. I'm going to set down my template and see. So I have, unlike a cookie cutter where I'm filling up this space, I'm actually going out, but this is a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and pull off a little bit of fiber. If I have too much, and when I'm doing the next step, you're gonna see how it really makes the project lumpy and bumpy. So you kind of want to take a little second, make sure that you don't have too much around. What we have is about 1/2 inch to 1 inch around. So now we're gonna take our needle. I recommend a single needle. If you have a double needle, it will work, but like triple and stuff, like you need to have a straight line. So just like if I was using this as a stencil and this was an ink pen and I was just tracing around this, and the difference is I'm going to be tracing around with my needle. So I'm going to leave this end of it. I'm not going to trace around this because this is going to be where we connect the feather, in this case, to the turkey. So I'm going to start over here, and I am just doing shallow, very quick, close together pokes. I'm trying not to bring the needle out too far. Obviously, I want to kind of keep it within that stencil. And coming around, you do need to do this on either this kind of bucky pad that I have or a felted foam, something that the fiber will actually catch into the pad. You can't just do this. Obviously, I need to have a pad to be needle felting anyways, but you need to have a nice pad that this will go into. Okay, so you notice I kind of went around a couple of times and it puffed out a little, so I'm just going to poke kind of inside. The other trick to this is you do not want to felt this too much. We do not want to, I always say, drill this into the pad. If we just over felt this, then we flatten this into the pad. It's hard to get off the pad, and it just really loses a lot of its cool woolly fluff. So see, I kind of tacked it down. Now I'm going to pull off my stencil, and you can see that I actually have the design sitting right here on my pad. So what I want to do now is all I have to do is kind of pull in those sides. And right now I'm just kind of gently tacking because I just want to get it all in. So I'm pulling in all the design, excuse me, all the fluff, rather. I'm a needle felter, not a video maker, can you tell? So anyway, so now look, I've got my general shape, and notice I'm just kind of tacking it in, but now I'm kind of doing a little bit lighter fluff, so I'm trying to get it more evenly felted, but again, I'm not really flattening it into the pad. We don't want to do that, and it turned out really well because this is about the thickness that I want. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a few more little pokes. And now I need to peel this off. So very gently, I like to kind of hold the pad down, and I'm just kind of pulling it up off the pad. And now when you see I pull it off, I still have lots of little fluffies here. Now I flipped it over, and now I'm doing a much lighter tack. I'm not going into the pad. I'm just trying to get all the little fluffies. I can kind of pick this up every once in a while if I need to. And this is also a good time to take a look. I was really lucky. It's the right thickness, and it's really even. But if there was a light spot in here, now would be the time to kind of go like, oh, it's really light right there. And then you would just add just like a little bit in there to fill it in. So you just kind of make sure you have a nice even piece. And that is how we use the stencil. Now, the next step is we need to clean the edges. So you can kind of clean them by hand here, kind of going in and reshaping it. But I recommend that you check out the Hedgie tool which is this little guy that I'm going to talk about in another video, and how to make the edges on this perfect. So Stabby Stencil makes all the best critter parts. And thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your stencil.